as requested by the CTF community, you guys wanted to see me make a podcast or of some sort. Obviously, I'm not gonna be like showing my face or anything like that, or like I hope maybe some background. I don't know if there is gonna be much, but this is kind of like a boring old talking video. Not much visual, but a lot of fun audio wise. But yeah, we're gonna be covering a lot of amazing things that have happened in season 2. Also, some of the struggles that have happened, some of the situations that have arisen. But yeah, dude, let's focus on, the first aspect, or at least the first aspect of this video is on the trades. So we're going to look at all the trades that happened in Season 2. There were a lot of trades, especially in the first few weeks of the season, which I will say was very crazy. And we'll start it off with the Aces here, trading with the Illuminas. The Aces requested for the number 5 pick and the number 12 pick. So the Aces, in a nutshell, gave up their number 3 overall pick for a lower one for number 5, but they did get a better round 2 pick in the end. So it's basically trading down a bit. And the main reason they did this is because they were looking to actually draft Sidon, and they knew Sidon, he wouldn't be picked, top 3. So they were looking just to, get Sidon a better player for that second round, and I think it was a great trade by the Aces. The Illuminas as well, they get a top player out of it, and of course, even though it's a lower second round, they still get a solid second round. And yeah, the Aces end up, drafting Sidon and then Bio. So Sidon number 5, Bio number 12, and then the Illuminas, I should say, drafted Chitra and Lucky. Of course, if you look a little down, you'll see Chitra may have been traded later, and Bio may have been traded later. But we'll get into that. But yeah, the Aces, they were just trying to set themselves up, and I think it was a great trade by them for the first trade. These were draft picks, so we didn't know what was going to get picked for sure, but the Aces, they had a plan in mind, and the Illuminas were happy to, take the number 3 pick. And next one is week 0 as well. So yeah, these are before the seed season started, because these were before the draft. And we have the Dark Hearts and the Bloxers trading. And the Dark Hearts ended up trading down as well, as they trade their number 4 pick to the Bloxers, but they do get a better, round 2 pick. And this was a major gamble by Storm here, because he is banking on the Bloxers just taking Patrick, and banking on Ruslan not getting selected until number 6. And I will say this, dude, obviously the Bloxers were trading up to get Patrick, to make sure they get him, because Patrick's probably the best Maul player right now, or at least has been for a pretty long time. And yeah, dude, it's the Dark Hearts just made a massive, move, and it ended up working out. The Dark Hearts ended up getting Ruslan number 6, and then they got Jovax number 11, which crazy duo because they're similar time zones. So I will say hands off to Storm for that. And of course, you play hands off to him. He got Patrick and Poke the duo to return as well. And this was just a major trade just to keep these two teams stable, and I would say it helped both teams a lot. The Blocksters got exactly what they were looking for, and Dark Hearts did as well when the draft rolled around. But yeah, this was just in preparation for the draft, and now we're actually getting to the players as we're starting off in week 2 after the week 1 games are played. The Aces and the Illuminas was arguably the biggest trade of the season, trading Bio and some noob for Chitra and a boy. So yeah, the Illuminas trade get Puffle, they get Bio and some noob, and the Aces get Chitra and Civilian. And this was a massive trade because this paired Sidon with Chitra, and Chitra desperately wanted to get off towers after not his best game on towers in week 1 with the Illuminas, and ended up working out. Unfortunately, Bio and some noob, they loved Underpass, and I felt really bad when they got traded, but both teams here, I would say it was a good trade for both of them. The Illuminas get some really good depth, and the Aces get the pairing they want. But as you can see here, later down the line, the Illuminas end up trading Civilian, or sorry, the Illuminas get Civilian, trading Bio, and this was a weird trade, I will say. But this trade happened because of a situation that unfolded, and the Illuminas, were okay with taking Civilian for Puffle. And, the Illuminas, they have a lot of depth in this case, and the Illuminas, to them, it didn't really affect them that much. No offense to Bio or anything, obviously, but the Aces just desperately needed Bio, as I'll show you what happens later. But as you can see here, we have Ray and Thunder, who was a mercenary. He ended up getting drafted into the Mercenaries later on when the season started. And he's actually Chitra's friend, thanks to Chitra for bringing him to the league. And Ronnie's been amazing. But unfortunately, Sidon, the situation unfolds, and boom, that top pairing, that dream pairing the Aces wanted, after all of that trade work, boom, there goes Sidon as he goes to the Mercenaries, and then he gets traded to the non-league, or I should say non-player team, which I kind of host, and that basically, or own, I should say. And non-players is basically you aren't playing for the league. Like, you can't just get traded because you have to get to the Mercenaries. So yeah, Sidon, a situation unfolds. We can talk about that a little later, but we'll just say that, Sidon really didn't want to play, and unfortunately he, started avoiding the league, and the Aces had to make some moves. So after the Aces lost Sidon, the Luminas were, willing to help out and, get in civilian at least. But yeah, dude, a major trade. It really hurt the Aces. It shook the team. It shook, I don't know if you could say it shook the league, but it was a major situation that unfolded, unfortunately. And the next trade is, of course, we got the Firebirds and the Mercenaries. Shallow Mo 73 actually wanted to become a mercenary, and MLG had just come back. He just missed the draft, and I felt so bad because he'd never been drafted ever, and he's a champ. And yeah, dude, I know he would have gotten drafted if he signed up, but unfortunately he was just gone during the draft, like a couple weeks, and all of a sudden he comes back after, beating the Firebirds with the aliens as a mercenary, and he joins the Firebirds, basically. And also, I guess you could say this is inaccurate, as MOG ends up going to the Firebirds. My bad, me. I did make this really quickly, but yeah, dude, MOG ends up on the Firebirds after, Mo gets traded down to the Mercenaries, and, I think it was a good trade for the Firebirds. They get some depth that they desperately needed. They needed some help at that time, and they got some help with MLG, I will say. And, Fear, MLG, and Vinci, they were Pirates last season. Now they're all three on the same team on the Firebirds. Of course, Rob, is their rival now. But really cool. And next trade is actually Civilian and Kool-Aid. And this was an interesting trade. I think this trade was what made the league like, what the heck? Why did you do that, Illuminas? But the Aces, the Luminas weren't, I don't know what was going on with Civilian. There wasn't much going on. There wasn't some situation or anything like that. It's just, Civilian, I guess, wasn't meshing the best with the team. He wasn't, he didn't really know anyone there. He knew the Aces better, and he, I believe, preferred to be on the Aces. So the Luminas end up trading him to the Aces, which was a major trade for the Aces, a big addition for them depth-wise. Of course, Kool-Aid gets traded to the Luminas, and Kool-Aid ends up, playing really good as well, and just, yeah, really cool. Of course, then, after that, on week 4, Kool-Aid ends up getting traded to the Dark Hearts. So Kool-Aid moves, like, numerous teams here. As Xquinity, he played so well for the Dark Hearts. And, yeah, dude, Xquinity just played insane. And, obviously, of course, the Dark Hearts ended up trading him off because it's just crazy. Like, the Dark Hearts literally had would have had the best team, and, the Dark Hearts like, fine, we'll trade for Kool-Aid. He's played one already anyway, so, yeah, dude, Kool-Aid ends up on the Dark Hearts, which is kind of crazy, I'm not gonna lie. Xquinity was a mercenary from the start, I believe, and I believe he ended up getting traded to the Illuminas. Unless I'm trying to think of like how he ended up on the Luminas. I believe he did become a mercenary though, but I'm not 100% about that. But yeah, and and McJeffy, man, I think he was a Dark Heart actually. That's right. I think I skipped a trade, which was the A009 trade, which, wow, me, I can't believe this, dude. I'm in a podcast. I didn't even prepare it the best. But yeah, no, it wasn't the biggest trade ever, but it was a trade that mattered a lot, and it was the McJeffy going to the Illuminas, and the Mercenaries, of course, trading off and getting A009189, I should say the Dark Hearts get him. As McJeffy ended up, here we go, we got it fixed up. But yeah, McJeffy ended up as a Dark Heart because A009's computer unfortunately didn't work, and yeah, he played so well against the aliens, and unfortunately, he got traded like to the Illuminas, and Yeah, dude. I felt really bad about this trade, but I think it was, a game balancing trade just because, Xfinity, just the Dark Hearts with their depth, dude, and, with their top pairing and the depth behind it. And we ended up, getting Kool-Aid onto the Dark Hearts or after that. And so that kind of helped out a little bit, evening out things. So this is more of an evening out trade, or at least I should say this one is, as, McJeffy ends up over here. And then week 5 rolls around and the Fusion situation occurs. Fusion, I guess this situation was just really weird. Like I only it's just wild, bro. Like I don't know how it happened, but yeah. Anyway, Fusion ends up getting completely suspended from the season. And so I feel bad for the Knights after this because he was the only returning Knight, but yeah, dude. And why do you say ACS? Anyway, guys, ignore some of the problems. Shh. But yeah, no. And DX Clued gets traded to the Knights by the Mercenaries as Fusion gets traded to the Mercs, and then the Mercs send him off to non-players as he's suspended. So he had to get traded. And, the Mercenaries and Knights, me and Shadow, we were able to figure stuff out. And, yeah, that's what happened there. He got completely suspended, unfortunately for him. But the whole situation we'll talk about a little later down the line in this video. And week 8, and Tabami gets traded from the non-players to the Mercenaries, as the Mercenaries request him, as he gets brought into the league. And then he gets traded for Xquinity in week 8. Because unfortunately, Xquinity could not make the game. I believe he got grounded, and it was just not good. He wasn't going to be on, and I felt really bad. I was just really unlucky, dude. This trade I really didn't want to make. I wanted Xquinity to stay as an Illumina, be in the league, or be on an official team. But unfortunately, he just hadn't done his minimums, and you got to get your game minimums done as a team. That's the only real task you have to do. That's required. But yeah, dude. That's kind of what happened with the trades for season 2, and it was a wild situation. There's a lot of trades that happened, and now we can move on to some crazy records. And I think the first record is that the Aces break the win streak record as they win 5 in a row, people. As you can see here, I haven't updated the standings just yet. But the Aces end up defeating the Blocksters, so they end up going to 12 points. They go 5-1-2, and the Blocksters drop to 4-3-1. And obviously, they'd have 11, and then of course and then they'd have 11, and then they'd have 13, and they'd have 7, and yeah, basically the Aces would have 4, and you'd have 2. But yeah, basically this is what the standings would look like. We're gonna keep this a secret. Hopefully, no one's looking at the standings right now. But the Aces would take second, and this is your matchups. And this is a crazy standing situation because you have 4 teams, by the way. 4 teams, and oh my gosh, L1. You got 4 teams that are tied for 9 points, tied for 4th seed, and it ends up with this standings. It ends up like this. So basically, what happens is the Firebirds have defeated the Illuminas and the Blocksters. So this is head-to-head. So as you can see here, the tiebreaker is team with more points and then winner between both tied teams. There's 4. So the team with the most wins against the tied teams would move up. And the Firebirds, even though they lost to overtime in their final game, they get 9 points. And even though they have one less wins is below the tiebreaker for, winner between tied teams or the head-to-head matchup. And the Firebirds sneak number 4 seed, guys. Ridiculous. As the Firebirds, they have less wins than the people below them, but they beat the Blocksters and the Illuminas. They only lost to the Aliens. But yeah, dude, and that's why they get ahead. Also, the Blocksters are ahead because they beat the Illuminas and the Aliens. So the Blocksters and the Firebirds, they have more wins in the head-to-head matchup in the group of 4 tied teams. So that's why they're 2 ahead. And then, of course, the Illuminas and the Aliens are below. So it's so weird, dude. But the head-to-head matters here more than the wins, as that is the tie-breaking rule. And it's just crazy, dude, how we have to make this mini group head-to-heads of the mini groups. It's just wild. The Firebirds and the Blocksters basically win 2 out of the 3 games between the groups. And, of course, the Firebirds beat the Blocksters. So the Firebirds actually take it and they take 4th seed. And of course, the Illuminats beat the Aliens, and so the Aliens dropped to number 7, even though they won. By the way, the Aliens were the only team to win out of this group, like in week 8. Yet, the win just didn't help them, unfortunately, dude. It's just crazy. Like, ridiculous how that ends up, but the head-to-head matters more. Team with more wins, unfortunately, is right below for the Aliens. Aliens probably, if it's team with more wins, Aliens take 4th seed easily. But yeah, dude, a crazy, crazy tie-breaking situation. Of course, the Aces get their 5th win as they beat the Bloxers 2-1, and they actually end the Bloxers' undefeated home streak on the seed season after the Bloxers eliminated them. So I would say Aces got their revenge there. But yeah, dude, just a crazy, crazy win streak. The Aces lose 3 in a row. They go 0-1-2, and then they win 5. And it's crazy, dude. The Dark Hearts were 4-0, then they lost 3, and then they won 1. So Aces, Dark Hearts are tied, but the Dark Hearts take that tiebreaker as they beat them in overtime, a massive overtime win for them. And the Pirates lost, so the Pirates, came out of contention just because, the Aliens beat them. And, dude, and so we have the Dark Hearts versus the Knights, the Aces versus the Aliens, the Pirates versus the Illuminats, and the Firebirds versus the Bloxers. Patrick and Vincey facing each other in that middle matchup there. That's going to be a crazy one. Volcano home, the Fires have home advantage somehow, even though they lost. It's crazy, dude. And yeah, dude, I just will say this is going to be a lot of fun this tournament as the Dark Hearts and Knights. Rob faces the Dark Hearts again, except he's on the Knights this time. Rob's number 8 seed again as well. Russell number 1 seed as well. So Dark Hearts take number 1 seed twice, 2 seasons in a row, which is kind of crazy. Aces take number 2, and they're tied. Aces got their most wins ever in team history. Pirates get 3rd seed for the first time in team history. They have home advantage in round 1 for the first time ever. They have home advantage in the tournament for the first time ever after winning it without home advantage, which is kind of crazy. Firebirds, of course, have had a home advantage last season in round 1. Bloxers number 5 seed again. Illuminats number 6 seed again. Aliens drop, and this is the first time they will not have home advantage in a tournament. Of course, the Knights, they drop to the number 8 seed. So yeah, dude, just comparing it there, it's just crazy. The standings, I could talk all day about this. It's wild, dude, how the standings shook out. And when this first happened, I couldn't comprehend it. I was like, how are we going to be able to break this tiebreaker? Because, the Illuminats and the Aliens can argue we have more wins, but in the end, dude, it is, we would do 3-way ties just like this. It's just another team added onto it. And now it's just crazy, dude. Even though the Aliens beat the Firebirds, the Aliens lost to the other 2 teams. So the Aliens, in that tying group, they have less wins. So we had to basically put them all in their own separate group, calculate the wins, and then whoever, had 2 wins in the group would be, above the top 2 spots, and whoever the 2 losses or, only 1 win would, be there. So it's kind of crazy, dude, how that ends up working. And so, yeah, dude, I think the Aliens Aces series is going to be a lot of fun. Dark Hearts Knights, I'm excited for that. I'm excited for all of these, honestly. Pirates Illuminas, that's going to be a crazy one. I don't know what's going to happen there. And then Firebirds, Bloxers, these are some fire matches, I will say, matchups, and I'm just so excited. But yeah, the Dark Hearts and the Aces, by the way, this season, they break the points record as they have 12. Last season, the Dark Hearts were 5-2-1. They had 11 points. 3 teams literally break it or match with it, as the Pirates actually tie the Dark Hearts number 1 seed record, even though they had 1 less win. They had more overtime losses. But yeah, dude, just crazy how this ends up. Also, this is the first time any team has had 3 OT losses in a seed season, as Pirates and the Firebirds had 3 each. And by the way, speaking of overtime, the Pirates had 7 overtimes out of the 8 total games they played. They only went to overtime, they never went to overtime once. Every other game tied, dude. What a season by the Pirates. Arguably the most entertaining team after winning the championship. Boom, overtime. Just crazy, dude. Sonic and Alvin, man, and Mounds and just Corrigan. It's just the Pirates have been so fun to watch. Aces, it's just every team has just been, and also for the first time ever, no team finishes the seed season with a negative record, as the lowest team is just 50.500. 332 is literally an even record. And yeah, dude, just crazy how this ends up. And a 332 record was the Illuminats last season, and they had number 6 seeds. So the Knights, really unlucky for them. They had a solid season, but like every team, there were so many more overtimes, and that's another thing too. There was a lot more overtimes this game. I believe I did a calculation. It was around like 40% of the games went to overtime and tied. Like, that is crazy, dude. And obviously, we haven't even gotten to the sword fights, dude. I made a poll asking, hey guys, do you think sword fight will ever happen? Because, like, I didn't think it would. And right after I made that poll, like, I think it was a few hours later, I recorded that game, and we went to sword fight, and I was like, I couldn't believe it, dude. It was the first time ever. And I know in the rules it states, oh yeah, it would be 3 1v1s, and, like, whoever wins the 1v1s. But that would just take so much more to set up, and we're like, why not just, have it so it's sudden death sword fight? Make it crazy. And honestly, it's just a lot more fun that way, and it's proven to be the most intense thing we've seen this season so far. And dude, I will say, like, sword fights have not ended the way I thought they would. There are teams that shouldn't have won that end up winning the sword fight. And so I will say sword fight has really ended up being an amazing component of the season 2, I'd say. But yeah, dude, sword fights, Aces Illuminas was the first ever one. Knights Firebirds went to a sword fight. Dark Hearts Illuminas went to sword fight. And of course, Aces Knights did. And dude, just crazy. Aces went to 2 sword fights. Illuminas went to 2 sword fights. And yeah, dude, wild. Just crazy. But yeah, dude, sword fights as well. And also, speaking of a crazy thing, there have been 4 2-2 ties this season. We have never seen a 2-2 tie since Season 1 of Classic. And then all of a sudden, the Pirates at Blocksters game rolls around. And what a game. Gave me Season 1 vibes of Classic. And boom! All of a sudden, we have 3 more on top of that. And just crazy, dude. How many 3-2 overtime games we've seen. Pirates Blocksters, Pirates Aliens twice. And both of their games did that. And both teams actually split that series. And the Knights and Firebirds in week 8, dude. Just crazy how that worked out, dude. I cannot believe it. And of course, another thing is, there were 2 hat tricks. MLG actually got a hat trick versus the Firebirds, his team he's playing for now. And HG got one against the Pirates in week 8, I believe. So, really amazing. Aliens get 2 hat tricks on their team. Of course, MLG was a mercenary, but he was technically an alien for a little bit. And yeah, it was crazy just seeing MLG, after he defeated the aliens, playing for them. That was really weird. It's been hard for me to commentate because I see these teams like Vinci versus Pirates, like Rob versus Pirate. It's just like, it's so hard for me to comprehend, like, because I'm so used to being, oh yeah, like Rob equals Pirates, but like, no, dude. It's just crazy. But yeah, dude, just absolutely crazy. This season has been phenomenal, and I'm so excited to see what the tournament has to offer, and I'm hoping the tournament goes better than last time, as, my computer absolutely got fried on the Season 1, and, yeah, dude, what a crazy time. And now we're going to talk about some situations. So, we're going to start off simple. And I think we'll just start off with the Sidon situation and talk about, like, the trade that happened. So, if we go over to, the trade that Sidon had, you can see that Sidon got traded for Ronnie. And this was a big trade because the Aces got something out of, losing Sidon. Ronnie has been awesome for the Aces, I will say. Ronnie's been a savior. What happened was, basically, Sidon ended up not wanting to play CTF, and he ended up telling a player that, oh, I'm just going to avoid everyone. And of course, that player notified the Aces owner, and we ended up doing a panic trade. Just, oh gosh, we got to figure out what's going on. And that's why you see this trade before it, because this was in preparation of losing Sidon, or at least the Illumina's one was, giving them bio, and, just so they have something. And yeah, dude, it's just crazy how that situation unfolded. It shook up the team and shook up, Rosie. I really felt bad for her. I wish Sidon went to me and, told me originally. Obviously, it ended up working okay for the Aces. They went 5-1-2 with all of the depth they earned. And yeah, the situation was just a very scary one. And hopefully, Sidon just ended up not wanting to play CTF, at least competitively, after signing up and, threw a wrench into the Aces' plans and my plans, and it took a bit of work to make sure the Aces got back up and running, and Chitra helped out with that, getting Ronnie back, and Illuminas, I thank them as well. They have been amazing with their trades. Illuminas and Aces have traded so many times anyway, But yeah, dude, Sidon situation, it wasn't a big deal, and everyone's chill. Sidon obviously is not going to be playing season 2, especially as a mercenary. We don't want him playing as a mercenary when he could just be used by any team. So that's why he is a non-player. He chose not to play this season, so we're going to keep it that way. Simple as that, unless he wants to return the Aces and the Aces make some trades. But it's too late for that now as we're going to the tournament. But yeah, dude, so that was the Sidon situation. Now we're going to move on to the Fusion one. And the Fusion one, what happened was Fusion basically got extremely mad at me because I didn't play him for one game. Or at least I started a game before he got on. And the main reason this was because we were trying to get this game done. I forget that specific game. It might have been the Aliens one. I forget which one specifically. I think it was week 5. So Knights week 5. I'd have to look at that actually to figure out like who they faced. They faced the Aliens. Yeah, I was right. Okay. But yeah, they faced the Aliens, and Fusion got really mad at me about like not playing him, and he was like, dude, I wanted to play, and like I was like, sorry, dude, I've been busy, I didn't see it, and he just like could not accept that, I guess. And like I asked him, like what happened was he told me his times he could play, and I never saw it because he never pinged me. And like I did send a message early, like like, I don't know if people know how I talk, but I have so many chats to manage, so I'll be like, okay, cool. I was like, okay, even though I'm not really like 100% scrolling up. I didn't scroll up, and I didn't see it, and he got very angry at that, and he called me blind, and like was like mocking me, and like I was like, dude, I really am doing so much right now. I'm sorry I didn't see it. And he couldn't take it, and I just told him next time, please ping me, and I'll make sure you play next game, and like I was going to make it up to him, and he didn't really care, and he ended up, getting very aggressive in my DMs, and I was like, you know what, we're not, I don't want this in my league, it's just especially, some of the, behavior as well in the chats as well, it was just jumping, and yeah, dude, unfortunately, he got suspended for the season, and we ended up banning him from the server, and that was a whole instance. And the last situation I want to talk about is just setting up season 2. Obviously I've made some, posts and all that in my server talking about my motivation and trying to make sure I stay motivated on this, because I am working full time, trying to upload to my main channel and trying to do this daily. And, for me, like being, I don't want this, to end up being, chains. I don't want it to be a burden. And, for that situation that at the beginning of the season, that's why we had to, take the actions we did, because I just couldn't see myself doing this season, knowing that, some of the bans, some of the stuff that happened in the past was going to come back. And, for me, I just wanted, some time away, and I just wanted to get a break. And obviously I'm so thankful we've gotten that. I'm really happy that how this is going, and hopefully it keeps that way. And that situation overall, for me, it was a motivation situation. It was a situation to keep things calm, make July an amazing month, and it was an amazing month. I am so happy with how this seed season's gone, with just how awesome it's been. We did end up suspending some players as well. Lots of chat offenses. We've been fighting toxicity all season long, but in the end, I am fighting for my players. I'm fighting to protect them. I'm trying to keep CTF as non-stressful as it can for such a competitive game it is. For me, all I care about is my players' mental health, my mental health. Trying to make sure no one's here getting told, oh, you're an A tier, you're a B tier, you're playing like a B. It's like, don't like, for me, I don't want to generalize a player. Everyone plays different every day, and I want people to realize that some people have off days, some people have amazing days, and we just, we should all be there for people and not tell people what they are. And for me, that's kind of like where my values are, is that I want to make sure that my community, you don't have to be the best player to have fun, like, and that's been something I've been really trying to emphasize ever since the creation of League. For me, it's like, wow, I want to put some pressure off of these players. I want it to be more on the team itself. I want it to be on the image. Oh, it didn't work out, for the Knights this season, or the Dark Hearts, or whoever. Maybe I'll get on a different team and I'll try on a separate map. And it's like, I want players to be able to be like, this is an opportunity with this team. this isn't, this isn't me being judged directly. And I've been fighting that ever since the week started. And, I've been fighting the toxicity as well. And I'd say, obviously I was very chillaxed at the beginning of the season. I was very busy and I didn't really know how to handle it. And obviously I feel like I've done a much better job. We've gotten CTF mods, which is something I never wanted. But obviously we've had to rally and, push for less toxicity. And that's just, toxicity update, guys. Just on some of the situations that have unfolded, we don't allow it. We aren't okay with it. It's not something I'm fond of. For me, I just want to have fun. I want to have a good summer. And I will say I am really thankful about this summer, just how amazing July was. Hopefully August, you keep it that way when this video comes out. And dude, for me, yeah, I guess you could say that's kind of where my values are, is that I just, as the owner of the league, I want people to feel safe. I want people to be able to thrive. And, there's some players that have been thriving ever since I've been doing it. Like Sonic, I will say, as an example, not to point fingers at Sonic or anything, but like I've just noticed how much better he's gotten just because there's none of this, pushed on him. And I really, it's really amazing to see. I love the progress. And that leads me to my last point, or at least not my last point, maybe not my last point, but one of my points is we have a lot of new players this season, and I just wanted to give a shout out to all of them, I apologize if I missed out on your name. I don't believe I did, but if I did, there's a shout out for you specifically. You can comment and like make fun of me or something. Not make fun of me, but like, just like comment and like, War, why didn't you say me? But just some players, I'd say some notable players. Blaze has been amazing this season. What a season for his first ever one, and I will say I am so proud of him for the Firebirds. I really appreciate him promoting the Firebirds as well. Of course, that's an added bonus, but yeah, dude, I've been so proud of Blaze and seeing his improvement. Bio as well, dude. When Bio isn't under pressure, when he isn't, being pushed at, like, or he isn't stressed or nervous, he's just so amazing, dude. Obviously, he's just been amazing this seed season. I'm hoping it keeps that way in the tournament. And, I feel like, that's a testament. Some players, if you put something on them, if you put some expectation on them, it can really inhibit their play. I'm not saying specifically Bio. There's a few players out there that I could name. But, like, for me, it's like keeping it fun and keeping it, awesome. But, yeah, Bio's been amazing. Copper's been great addition for the Blocksters. I've loved how he's fit in with the Blocksters. I'm really proud of that. Civilian has been awesome for the Aces. He really reminds me of Bastilzius in a way, where how his play style, it's actually really, really weird how similar he plays to Bastilzius. He's been such a great addition for the Aces. Coragian, or Mounds, has been an amazing addition for the Pirates. He's had a great season as well. Even though he hasn't played as many games as he's hoped, I will say in the games he's played, he's been very notable. He's played amazing. I'm really proud of how he's done. Ronnie as well, what a season he's had, and since since starting with Chitra. And I will say Ronnie, I've been trying to help him out, trying to keep him getting him better, for Chitra, because, it's such a hole to lose Sidon. But, yeah, dude, I will say, Ronnie has had a great start to CTF, and, wow, what his first season for him. Seeb, dude, I will say Seeb has had a phenomenal start to CTF. And I know I've been joking, like, oh, Seeb rats and all that and all those funny jokes, but, dude, like, I will say, Seeb, if you're listening, dude, you've been playing phenomenal. You have been a very big reason that Luminas have had some major success, I will say. So don't put yourself down after that sweep to the Dark Hearts, after the sweep to the Blocksters. Don't put yourself down, dude. If you keep it up, dude, if you keep, practicing, you could be one of the best CTF players. And the Luminas keep finding gold, and you're one of the key pieces to that team. And don't think you're alone. Some noob has been with you. He's been awesome too. Lucky as well. And of course, you cannot forget the new player Tabami. And Tabami, I will say, has been amazing. His first game, unfortunately, got swept. That's brutal. But I will say that sweep wasn't more of the Luminas being bad, but more of the Dark Hearts just playing crazy after losing 3 in a row. They needed that win, and they practiced really hard for it. Xquinity has played amazing. I feel so bad he got traded, but dude, Xquinity, you had a great game for the Dark Hearts when you did play that game. I wish you could play more. I really do, but what a game by, just what a season by you as well. Hopefully, you get used in the tournament as a mercenary. Necessity for the Aliens has been awesome too. He played really well against the Pirates at home. He's been a great, solid player for his first ever season, I will say. Like, awesome job to Necessity. DX Clued as well. Unfortunately, hasn't won yet. I think there's a lot of players on this list that haven't actually won a game yet, but he played really well, against, the Bloxers, Poke and Ben, a classic duo. He had a lead on them, dude. Like, I will say, he hasn't been horrific, And I'm not saying that, to be mean, but, like, at least the Knights, DX, don't listen to people if they are gonna, say, like, you're bad, because you're not, dude. You're new to this game, and I just wanted to say that, like, you have been awesome for the Knights so far, especially after the Knights lost Fusion, dude. Like, oh my goodness, dude, you've been a help for them. I'm really happy about that. Comp, he did play last season, but I just want to say it's his first ever time joining an actual team, and he's been awesome for the Aliens. He played so well against the Dark Hearts with some crazy, like, flicks, and to get on the roof and get some crazy attacks on them. He actually got through the Dark Hearts defense, but unfortunately he lost that one. But yeah, dude, just some notable players right there. And yeah, just let that sit in, dude. And I guess but the last thing we can do is talk about the tournament series. Knights Dark Hearts is going to be a crazy one. Jovax is facing his former rival team, as he was on the Firebirds, and the Knights were his rivals. That's going to be crazy, dude. The Dark Hearts are home for Game 1, and if Game 3, happens, they are home for that as well. So it'll be houses, castles, houses. I can't wait to see how Fatini and Rob do on houses. Russell and Jovax as well, like, they're a top duo, but, Rob, he's done it once against the Dark Hearts. Can he do it again? I feel like, the Knights, Fatini has been great. If I think lag's going to be a main component of this series, unfortunately to say. Jovax unfortunately lags a bit. Rob lags a bit. It's a matter of, whoever doesn't lag as much, I feel like. It's going to be a closer series than I think most people are going to say. And, don't count the Knights out. Even though they're last seed, they haven't been bad this season at all. They're like an equivalent of a number 6 seed last season. So I would not count them out. But yeah, dude, it's gonna be tough for the Knights to, try to defeat the Dark Hearts, who are undefeated on houses right now. But, if the Knights prepare, dude, they could be deadly. The Aces Alien series is gonna be crazy. Chitra versus HT. This has been something I've seen. We've seen in a long time ago. I believe it's season 5, High Klein HT first versus Chitra and Best. Chitra. This is gonna be a rematch for HT since then. And dude, Chitra's looking to win his first round in league. HT as well, dude. Comp is as well. Like, dude, Comp played for the Aces last season in a tournament game. He actually played really, really well. Unfortunately, though, I think he played for the Bloxers. I apologize. He lost the Aces. So the Comp's actually trying to get some revenge. I should apologize there on the Aces. But yeah, dude, the Aliens took this one 1-0 this season. And last season, of course, the Aces won, I believe, 2-1 in overtime. Also, in the Knights series, Knights won in houses overtime last season. And then, of course, the Dark Hearts won 1-0 on castles. So, these teams, both of these top two series, these teams are even in the seed season. We don't know what's really going to happen. Aces number 2 seed, Aliens number 7. But I will say this, Aliens are not a bad team. And the seed like number really lies, I'd say. Like, the Aliens could have easily been 4th seed here if, the tiebreaker was in their favor. So I will say that's going to be crazy, though. The 2A teams going at it. I'm really excited. This is probably my most hyped series. I'm really excited to see how it goes, but it's going to be Underpass, then Area 51, then Underpass. We'll have to see how the Aces prepare, because the HT and Comp did defeat them last time on Underpass this season, so we'll have to see how the Aces do. See, I keep confusing Chitra, Dark Hearts. Anyway, Pirates and Luminas, this is going to be a crazy one as well. Pirates get home advantage. It's going to be Warships, Towers, then Warships. The Illuminas actually ended up defeating the Pirates 2-1 in overtime on Towers. So it's going to be interesting. The Pirates also won, I believe, 2-1 on Warships, but it was in regulation last season. So these teams are even technically, but these teams have had some success as well. So I will say Pirates won the championship. Illuminas made semis. these two teams, one of them's going to go out for the first time in round one, like in their team history. Who knows who it's going to be? Can the Pirates make another run, dude? That's the question I ask. And who knows? Obviously, no pressure on the Pirates at all for being the defending champs, obviously. But, dude, it's going to be interesting. The Lunas, they're number 6 seed again. They're trying to win again against the number 3 seed. We'll see how it goes, but they have to face the Pirates on Warships, who are undefeated on Warships right now. And the Firebirds Blocksters series is going to be really interesting, too. Blocksters actually won, I think it was 2-1 in overtime on Maul last season. And then the Firebirds won 1-0 on Volcano this season. So these teams have evened it out as well. And the Firebirds have home advantage. It's going to be on Volcano. And it's Patrick versus Vincey. This is some revenge for the Blocksters here, as they're facing 3/4 of the past Pirates team that eliminated them. So there is some history here. The Firebirds are looking to win their first ever series. The Blocksters, of course, are trying to avoid losing in round 1. And we'll see how it goes. Blocksters, dude, if they win, this is a big series for them, as if they win this, they'll be either facing the Dark Hearts or the Knights. Of course, the Aces, Aliens, Pirates, Luminous series, those two will meet up. And yeah, dude, this is gonna be a crazy, crazy series. I'm really excited to see how this goes. I've been rambling for a while, but yeah. By the way, the Knights, Dark Hearts, one of those teams is going to win their first ever series, but unfortunately, one of them is still gonna go winless in the tournament round wise. So it's going to be crazy for that one. Of course, the Aces are trying to win their first series, and so we'll see how that goes as well. But yeah, dude, it's going to be crazy, dude. We have two successful teams facing off, Pirates and Luminas, two teams who've never won a series, Knights, Dark Hearts. And of course, you have it split. One team has won, one team hasn't, Aces, Aliens, and Firebirds, Blocksters. But yeah, dude, it's going to be a crazy tournament. And I'm really excited to see these matchups, dude. Obviously, I haven't done the bracket yet because, you know me. But yeah, it would basically, be FBS here. It would be Blocksters here. And it would be ACS here and AOI for Aliens. And then you'd have Pirates. And then you have Illuminus. So Pirates will be on this side of the bracket for the first time ever, actually. Illuminus are going to be back here. And the Blocksters are down here again. Dark Hearts are up here again. So basically, also, if the Knights and the Firebirds win their series, it will be a rivalry match. The Dark Hearts and the Luminous would only have a rivalry match if they made finals both. So we'll have to see. Also, Pirates, Aliens, we don't know who's actually going to go and move on. But yeah, dude, this is going to be a crazy tournament. I'm really excited. But yeah, guys, I'm on vacation for, a week and a half after grinding out work for, two almost 3 months. Actually, like 2 months and 3 weeks, almost 3 months full time. Haven't taken a day off, and now I'm actually gonna get some vacation time on me, and of course a break for all the players for their amazing seed season. I'm so proud of all the players. Congratulations to all of you guys. You all have been amazing, and dude, I just gotta say, it's been crazy. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode. I apologize if the visuals were a little boring, but anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe for more, and like the video just to support. I hope to see you in the next one.